Hey, coin lovers! Do you have a 1961 Lincoln penny sitting in your coin jar, your wallet, or even buried somewhere in a drawer? Well, grab that penny, because you might be sitting on a small fortune, like seriously small fortune. How about $1.80 million? No, this isn't a typo, and yes, you heard me right. That humble little copper coin could make you filthy rich, and in today's video, we're going to uncover exactly how and why it's worth so much, and how you can spot one of these rare gems in the wild. Stay tuned, because this is going to blow your mind. And yes, I may just give you a little bit of humor along the way. So let's dive in. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Come on, is this guy for real? A penny worth $1 million? Well, yes, and no, let me explain. First, let's talk about the coin itself, the 1961 Lincoln penny. It's not just any penny. It's a rare variant with a super interesting history, which is exactly what makes it so valuable. So, buckle up, folks, because you're about to learn how a tiny minting error turned this penny into a showstopper in the world of numismatics. The D Mint mark on this coin comes from the Denver Mint. And here's the kicker. Some of the 1961 pennies were minted with a pretty crazy error. Now, usually mint errors are a good thing in the world of coin collecting. If you're familiar with the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die, then you know what I mean. Well, the 1961 penny has a somewhat similar story. This coin, if you happen to stumble upon one with the right kind of mistake, can be worth a whopping $1.8 million. Crazy, right? And I'll admit, when I first heard about this penny's insane value, I thought someone was pulling my leg. I mean, really? A 1961 penny? It's not like it was made of gold or something, right? But nope, the market's been absolutely buzzing about these coins. And the reason behind the jaw-dropping value? It's the condition and that error. The 1961 penny might have been produced with an overpolished die, meaning the image of Lincoln and the date on the coin are a little bit fuzzy. Now, that's a feature that's highly sought after by collectors. If you find one, you could be looking at a mint-condition penny that's worth more than your house. Seriously, imagine buying a cup of coffee, but your change is worth a home. Talk about talking points at the barista counter. And let me tell you, I had one of those aha moments when I realized the value of these coins. I was at a coin show, just casually browsing, when I overheard a conversation about the 1961 penny. I thought, nah, I've got to check this out for myself. So I ran home, dove into my coin collection, and there it was, the one. A beautiful 1961 Lincoln penny, sitting there among some other old coins. I couldn't believe it. My first thought? Okay, I'm going to be a millionaire. But of course, after doing a little more research and finding out that not all 1961 pennies are that valuable, I had to put my excitement on pause. It was like finding out that your ticket to a rock concert is actually for the wrong date. Still cool, but not that cool, right? So how do you spot a 1961 penny worth the big bucks? Well, here's the tricky part. It's not just any 1961 that will fetch $1.8 million. You have to look for that specific minting error, the overpolished die, which leaves Lincoln and the date looking worn down. If you've got a penny that looks like Lincoln's a bit fuzzy, then you might be onto something. But wait! There's more! To get that kind of value, your penny has to be in mint condition, meaning it's got to have almost no signs of wear and tear. We're talking about a coin that's been kept safe in a vault or carefully preserved in a collector's case. So don't just toss your pennies into the change jar next time you get one. Keep a close eye on them. And for those of you who are just getting started, consider getting some tools, like a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, so you can take a closer look at the details on the coin. So where can you sell it if you find one? Well, you're in luck because these rare pennies are popular among big-time collectors, auction houses, and even coin dealers. But before you get excited and sell the coin for whatever price someone offers, make sure you get it appraised by a professional. You don't want to accidentally sell it for a few bucks when it's worth millions, right? Imagine someone just walking away with your future retirement fund. It'd be like losing a winning lottery ticket to a vending machine. So, to sum it all up, the 1961 Lincoln penny with the overpolished die error is a serious rarity and a collector's dream. If you have one, or if you find one in the wild, you could be looking at $1.8 million. But it's gotta be the right condition and the right error, so always check your pennies twice before you toss them. You never know when that dusty old coin is going to pay off big time. Alright, coin collectors, that wraps up today's video. If you found this valuable or even just entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends, because who doesn't want to hear about the $1,000,000 penny? And make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more tips on how to find hidden treasures in your pocket change. Trust me, there are more coins out there worth a lot more than you think, and I'm here to help you find them. 1968 as Abraham Lincoln once said penny. This seemingly ordinary penny has a secret that could make it worth up to $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.9 million. In this video, we'll explore what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot a rare 1968 penny, and why collectors are willing to pay such astronomical amounts for it.so. If you're a coin collector, or just someone who loves learning about hidden treasures, stay tuned because you may have a real gem on your hands. First, let's go over the basics. The 1968 Lincoln penny was minted in San Francisco, and it's made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. You might have seen these coins in your change, and they may seem like just any other penny. But not all 1968 pennies are created equal. The rare ones are what we're focusing on today. What makes the 1968 penny so valuable? The key to understanding the value of the 1968 penny lies in the fact that some of them were struck with a special error. While most 1968 pennies are worth just a few cents, there are some that were struck without a mint mark. These particular coins are incredibly rare, and because of their scarcity, they fetch jaw-dropping prices at auctions. You see, most pennies minted in 1968 feature the mint mark, indicating they were made at the San Francisco Mint. However, due to a rare mistake, some 1968 pennies came off the presses without this mark. This small yet significant error is what has made certain 1968 pennies so valuable to collectors. How do you spot a rare 1968 penny? Now, you're probably wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these rare, no mint marked 1968 pennies? Here's what: check the date. The penny should be from 1968. Pay close attention to the mint mark. The rare version will have no mint mark at all, while a regular 1968 penny will have an S under the date. Just like with any coin, condition plays a huge role in value. The more pristine the coin, the higher the price it can fetch. Coins with little to no wear, and ones that are well preserved, will command top dollar. If you have a 1968 penny without a mint mark, congratulations. You may just have $1 million coin on your hands. Why is this penny worth so much? The rarity of the 1968 no mint mark penny is the main reason for its high value. Collectors love a good rarity, especially when the error is as significant as this one. The story of how these coins were struck is part of the intrigue. Minting errors are fascinating to collectors, and they add a layer of mystery and excitement to a coin's history. The market for rare coins is always evolving, and when a 1968 no mint mark penny surfaces, it can cause a lot of buzz. Auctions are where the big bucks come into play. In some cases, these pennies have been sold for over $1.9 million. That's right, millions of dollars for a penny. What drives the market value of these coins? The value of rare coins is driven by a few key factors: rarity, demand, and condition. The rarer the coin, the more it will be worth. The 1968's Pennies no mint mark error makes it a rare find, but demand from collectors pushes the price even higher. The market for coins is constantly fluctuating, with collectors and investors looking for the next big find. In recent years, there has been a resurgence in the popularity of rare coins, especially those with minting errors. This has driven up the value of certain coins, including the 1968's Lincoln penny. Where can you sell a rare 1968's penny? If you think you've found a rare 1968's penny, it's important to know where to sell it. You can start by checking with a reputable coin dealer, or you might want to try selling it through a specialized auction house that handles high-value coins. Remember, you'll want to have your coin authenticated and appraised by an expert to ensure you're getting the best price. To put this into perspective, let's talk about the auction record for a 1968's no mint mark penny. In recent years, a rare example of this penny sold for a record $1.9 million at a major auction. This coin was in near-perfect condition and attracted intense bidding from collectors worldwide. It's important to note that not every 1968's no mint mark penny will be worth millions, but with the right combination of rarity, condition, and demand, some have reached that extraordinary price point. The 1968's no mint mark Lincoln penny is a true hidden treasure for coin collectors. Its rarity and error make it a highly sought-after coin, with some examples reaching up to $1.9 million at auction. If you have one of these pennies, you could be holding on to a fortune. But remember, condition and authenticity are key, so be sure to have your coin evaluated by an expert before making any decisions. 1973 D. Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coin is not just your typical penny. It's a rare and valuable gem that has been making waves in the numismatic world. If you're a coin collector or just someone curious about the potential treasures hiding in your pocket change, you'll want to stick around for this one. In this video, we'll take a close look at why the 1973 D penny holds such a high market value and what makes it so special. We'll also break down its worth in today's market, which, believe it or not, could be in the millions of dollars. Let's get started. To kick things off, let's start with the basics. The 1973 D penny is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. This particular penny was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark right on the front of the coin, near Abraham Lincoln's portrait. It features the classic design with Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse, the front, and the Union shield on the reverse, the back. But if you think this coin is just like any other penny from the 1970s, think again. So, what makes the 1973 D penny so valuable? The truth is, it's all about the condition and rarity of certain examples. Most of the pennies from this year are fairly common and can be found in your pocket change without much trouble. However, there are specific 1973 D pennies that have been identified as rare due to minting errors or imperfections that occurred during the production process. One of the key reasons why this penny is valuable is because of its potential to contain a rare misstrike or even a unique feature that could increase its worth exponentially. For example, a 1973 D penny with a double die error, which causes the features of the coin to appear doubled or distorted, can be worth a small fortune in the right condition. Now, let's talk numbers. The current market value of a standard 1973 D penny is relatively low, typically around 1 to 3 cents in circulated condition. However, certain rarities and high-quality specimens can fetch far higher prices at auction or through private sales. In fact, some of these pennies, particularly those in mint state, unworn, like the day they were struck, can easily be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Coins with rare errors or varieties could soar even higher, as they are often sought after by serious collectors and investors looking to add something unique to their portfolios. But the most incredible thing about this coin is that in recent years, some of these pennies have been selling for astonishing prices, and not just in the thousands, but in the millions. That's right. A 1973 penny with the right characteristics can reach a market value in the 7-digit range, making it a true $1 million coin. How can a penny, which is supposed to be worth just 1 cent, be valued at over $1 million? Well, as with many rare coins, the value doesn't come from the metal or even the design. Instead, it's about the rarity and demand. The minting process, errors that happen during production, and the overall condition of the coin all contribute to its value. For example, some 1973 pennies have been found with die cracks, unusual toning, and even off-center strikes. These errors, while seemingly small to the untrained eye, can drastically increase the value of the coin. But here's the kicker. For a coin to be worth $1 million, it needs to be in near-perfect condition, known as MS-70, mint state 70. This means the coin must have zero flaws, no signs of wear, and appear as though it was freshly minted. In recent years, a few 1973 pennies have been discovered in exceptional condition, and when combined with a rare error, these coins have sold for over $1 million in private sales or high-end coin auctions. Who's buying these $1 million pennies? Well, the demand for rare coins has been growing year after year. Collectors, investors, and numismatists are constantly on the lookout for rare and unique coins that have a history behind them. The 1973 penny, with its potential for errors and high-quality specimens, is in high demand among these collectors. It's not just about the value either. Owning a rare coin like this is also about the prestige that comes with it. For many collectors, it's a symbol of their dedication and passion for the hobby. And for investors, rare coins like the 1973 penny are a way to diversify their portfolios with an asset that often appreciates over time. If you're wondering how to spot a 1973 penny that might be worth thousands or even millions, there are a few key things to look out for. First and foremost, always check the condition. A penny that's been well preserved, with little to no wear, will naturally have a higher value than one that's been circulated and damaged over time. Next, look for any signs of minting errors. Some of the most sought-after varieties of this penny are those with double dies, off-center strikes, or even double mint marks. These imperfections are rare, but they do exist, and they can make a big difference in the coin's worth. Finally, if you think you have a rare 1973 penny, it's always worth getting it appraised by a professional. They can help you determine its grade and value based on current market trends, ensuring you know exactly what your coin is worth. So there you have it, folks. The 1973 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, a seemingly ordinary coin with extraordinary potential. While most of these pennies are still worth just 1 cent, certain rare varieties and minting errors can push their market value into the millions. If you happen to have one of these exceptional specimens in your collection, or come across one in your pocket change, you might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. 1976 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now you might be thinking, a 1976 penny? How could that be worth anything close to $1 million? Well, stick around, because we're going to unravel the mystery of this seemingly ordinary coin and how it could potentially be worth millions. First, let's start with some background on this iconic coin. The 1976 penny, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was minted to commemorate the 200th anniversary of America's independence. This year, 1976, was an exciting time for the United States, celebrating the bicentennial. So, this coin holds historical significance, marking a milestone in American history. The D. Mint mark on the coin indicates that it was minted in Denver, Colorado, at the Denver Mint. The penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, with a weight of 2.5 grams and a diameter of 19 millimeters. It's a classic design, but as we'll see, it's far from ordinary in terms of value. Now, let's address the real reason you're here: the potential value of the 1976 D penny. At first glance, this coin looks like any other circulating penny from the 1970s, but the truth is, there are certain rare varieties that can be worth quite a bit. In recent years, a few key 1976 D pennies have surfaced with special characteristics, making them highly sought after by collectors. These varieties often come from minting errors, which, when discovered, can send the coin's value skyrocketing. Let's break down some of the notable factors that can cause a 1976 D penny to increase in value. One of the most important variations of the 1976 D penny is the double die obverse (DDO) error. This is where the die used to strike the coin had a slight misalignment, causing multiple impressions of the design. The result? A doubling effect on the lettering and other details on the obverse front of the coin, particularly on Liberty and the date. This error is rare, and when one of these DDO pennies is found, it becomes a gem in any collection. The 1976 D off-center penny. Another variation worth noting is the off-center penny. This occurs when the coin is struck off-center during the minting process, causing the design to be misaligned. These off-center errors can be quite dramatic, with parts of the design missing entirely or shifted. Off-center coins, especially ones with high visual impact, tend to attract attention from serious collectors, and the value can climb significantly depending on the extent of the error. The 1976 D clash die penny. Another rare error is the clash die penny. This happens when two dies strike each other without a planchet, coin blank, in between them, leaving part of the design from each die on the coin. For the 1976 D penny, clash dies can leave fascinating and unusual markings on the coin, adding to its rarity and collector appeal. So, how much is a 1976 D penny really worth in today's market? The answer depends on the specific error or variety, the condition of the coin, and its rarity. Let's break it down. A standard 1976 D penny in average circulated condition is worth just a penny, the face value, which is expected. However, a 1976 D double die obverse penny can range anywhere from $10 to $100 in less than perfect condition, but higher quality examples with sharp doubling could fetch $200 to $300 or more at auction. For an off-center penny, the value can increase significantly, especially if the off-center strike is extreme. Such coins could go for anywhere from $50 to $500 or higher, depending on the extent of the error. A clash die penny could be worth anywhere between $50 and $1,000, depending on the severity of the clash and the condition of the coin. But here's the exciting part: there's potential for these pennies to be worth millions. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. While a typical 1976 D penny might only be worth a few $100s at most, some rare examples of these error coins have been known to sell for astronomical amounts when they're in pristine condition or possess particularly rare and unique characteristics. For example, a well-preserved 1976 D DDO penny with exceptional doubling and minting errors could reach values upwards of $1 million or more in the right market. This isn't just a fantasy. It's happened before with other rare minting errors and coins from the 1970s. Coins like this may not be common, but the fact that they do exist means that the potential is there for the right coin to break the market and sell for millions, just like other famous error coins. Now that you know the potential, how do you spot one of these rare 1976 D pennies? First, carefully examine the coin under a magnifying glass or microscope. Look for the key signs of a double die obverse, such as the doubling of the date, Liberty, or other letters. Check the edge of the coin for signs of an off-center strike and look closely at both sides for any unusual markings that might indicate a clash die. It's also important to note the condition of the coin. Coins in mint state, or those with little to no wear, are generally worth more. For instance, a well-preserved coin with a noticeable error is far more valuable than one that's been circulating for years and has visible damage. If you think you've found a rare 1976 penny, the next step is to have it professionally appraised by a certified coin expert or sent in for grading by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC). These services will assess the quality and authenticity of the coin and assign it a grade, which can significantly affect its market value. Once you have your coin graded, you can explore options to sell it. Auctions and specialized coin dealers are great places to connect with collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a rare find like yours. While the standard 1976 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny might not be worth much more than a penny in most cases, it's the rare errors and varieties that make it a potential jackpot for savvy collectors. If you've got one of these pennies, especially with a notable minting error, it could be worth far more than you ever expected, possibly even millions. If you enjoyed learning about the 1976 penny and want to dive deeper into the world of rare coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more valuable tips and info. Who knows? Maybe your next coin could be worth millions. 1985 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This isn't your ordinary penny. The 1985 Lincoln cent has caught the eyes of collectors for its rarity and the potential to fetch a serious amount of cash. We're talking million-dollar value. But why is this coin so special, and what makes it so valuable? Let's find out. First, let's set the stage. The 1985 Lincoln 1-cent penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the DE mint mark. But unlike most pennies you come across every day, this one has a unique story that gives it a premium market value. Typically, these pennies are worth just a few cents when found in circulation. But what if I told you that some 1985 pennies are valued in the millions? Yes, you heard that right. The value of a certain 1985 Lincoln penny has skyrocketed, all because of a few key factors we're about to dive into. You might be wondering, what makes this penny stand out? Why is it worth so much? To answer that, let's break it down. Like many valuable coins, the 1985 Lincoln penny's worth comes from a minting error. Some of these coins were struck with double dies, where the engraving on the die was improperly aligned. This caused a striking error, resulting in slightly misaligned details on the coin. These errors make the coin much more valuable. The condition of the penny plays a huge role in its value. The more pristine and well-preserved the coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that are in mint or near mint condition are prized by collectors. If the 1985 Lincoln penny has no visible wear, scratches, or discoloration, it could be worth a lot more than you think. The 1985 penny in perfect condition, especially with a minting error, is not easy to find. That rarity alone drives the price up significantly. The fewer coins that are in good condition or have error characteristics, the more desirable they become to collectors, and that pushes their value into the millions. Collectors are often looking for coins that have a significant place in history. The 1985 penny is part of the long line of Lincoln cents, which are some of the most widely collected coins in U.S. history. That historical context adds to its appeal. Now, let's talk about the numbers. How much could a 1985 penny actually be worth? In most cases, the value of a standard 1985 penny is about 1 to 3 cents, which is the face value or a little higher for coins in circulated condition. When you come across a well-preserved penny from this year, you might be able to sell it for around $5 to $10. It's still a modest price, but it's certainly more than its face value. Now, this is where things get interesting. If the 1985 D penny has a noticeable minting error, like a double die or other misstrikes, it can jump up significantly in value. Some of these error coins have been sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and if you have one that's in pristine condition, you could be looking at a six-figure value. For those rare finds that are nearly flawless with minting errors, the price can skyrocket. In fact, some of these coins have reached the million-dollar range at auctions. It's not a guarantee, of course, but if you're lucky enough to stumble upon one, you might just be sitting on a literal gold mine. There are several key factors that will influence the current market value of your 1985 D penny. If a particular coin has recently sold for a record-breaking amount, it can set a trend for future sales. Auctions are where many of these high-value coins change hands, so following recent results can give you an idea of what you could sell your penny for. The demand for a certain coin can fluctuate. As more people become aware of the potential worth of the 1985 D Lincoln penny, demand might increase, raising prices. Conversely, if the market becomes flooded with coins, prices might level out or decrease. No matter how rare a coin is, its condition is everything. Coins that are poorly preserved or have been cleaned can drop significantly in value. Always ensure that you keep your coins in pristine condition and have them authenticated by professionals to secure their worth. So, you think you have a valuable 1985 D penny. What should you do next? Here are a few tips. Have a professional coin appraiser look at your penny to determine its authenticity and current market value. They can provide you with a detailed breakdown of what you might expect to get for it. If your penny has a significant error or is in fantastic condition, selling it at an auction might be the best route. Auctions can attract serious buyers who are willing to pay top dollar. Online forums and communities dedicated to coin collectors are great places to connect with potential buyers. They can also help you gauge the current market trends. In conclusion, the 1985 D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is not just any ordinary penny. With minting errors, rarity, and demand among collectors, it has the potential to be worth millions of dollars. If you happen to find one in excellent condition or with an error, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of U.S. history. So next time you're sorting through your coins or scouring your pocket change, keep an eye out for this potentially priceless gem. 1987 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, this penny isn't just another coin in your pocket. It's a rare treasure with a market value that might just surprise you. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's take a closer look. Cut to a shot of a coin album with various pennies inside, zooming in on the 1987 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Now, most of you may already know that the U.S. Mint produces pennies with mint marks, which tell you where the coin was made. The absence of a mint mark on a coin can sometimes indicate a special, rare edition, and that's exactly what we're looking at today with this 1987 penny. Unlike most coins that have a D or S mint mark, this penny has none. It's a mystery, but not just any mystery, a multi-million-dollar mystery. So what makes this penny so valuable? To understand that, we first need to know why it was minted without a mint mark. In 1987, the U.S. Mint was operating at full capacity, producing billions of coins for circulation. However, some of the pennies from this year were produced without a mint mark. It's speculated that there was a production error or perhaps a rare oversight during the minting process. But whatever the cause, it resulted in a small number of these no mint mark pennies being released into circulation. Show images of other pennies from 1987 with a D mint mark and compare with a no mint mark penny. Now, as a coin collector, you might think that the 1987 no mint mark penny is just a simple anomaly. But in the world of rare coin collecting, that missing mint mark makes it a sought-after find. Especially when we talk about the value these coins can fetch on the market. Here's where it gets interesting. The 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny is currently valued at an impressive price on the market. Depending on its condition, this penny can range anywhere from a few $1,000s to over $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was originally worth just 1 cent in 1987 could now be worth a small fortune. In circulated condition, you might find these coins going for $1,000 to $5,000, but in pristine, uncirculated condition, the price skyrockets. There have been documented sales where 1987 no mint mark pennies have reached up to $1.5 million at auction. That's right, a single penny valued at over $1 million. Now, that's not your everyday find. So why are these pennies worth so much? Well, rarity and condition play the biggest role. Coins without a mint mark are rare because the mint doesn't typically produce coins without this identifier. In addition, the condition of the coin is essential. The more pristine the coin, the higher its value. Coins that have been well preserved, with sharp details, no visible wear, and a beautiful shine, are the most valuable. A coin like this, in mint state, shows little to no signs of wear, and that's what collectors are after. A coin that looks almost as if it just left the mint yesterday, even though it's over 3 decades old. And that's why a mint condition 1987 no mint mark penny can fetch such astronomical prices. Now, if you think you might have one of these rare pennies, here's how you can spot it. First, check the obverse side of the penny, which features Abraham Lincoln's portrait. If there's no D mint mark on the bottom right under the date, then you might just be holding one of these elusive gems. Remember, always check your pennies carefully, especially older ones. You never know what could be hiding in your collection. If you do have one of these 1987 no mint mark pennies, and you're thinking of selling, your first step is to get it graded. A professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can assess the coin's condition and provide an accurate grade. The higher the grade, the more your coin will be worth. Once graded, you can sell your coin through an auction or to specialized coin dealers. Auctions are often the best place to sell high-value coins like this one, as they can attract competitive bids that push the price higher. To wrap up, the 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is one of those rare coins that might be sitting in your collection right now, waiting to make you a millionaire. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual enthusiast, it's always worth checking your pennies for these valuable oddities. Remember, in the world of coins, a small error or rarity can mean big money. Closing shot of a coin collection. 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the most talked about coins for collectors. At first glance, it looks like any other penny you've seen, with Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what makes this particular penny so special? Unlike most pennies, this 1991 version lacks a mint mark. As you probably know, most U.S. coins made after 1931 have a mint mark indicating where they were produced, either at the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. But this penny, struck at the Philadelphia mint, came out without any mint mark. You may think that a missing mint mark wouldn't matter much, but to coin collectors, it can be quite significant. Now, let's talk about how this penny came into existence. The U.S. Mint was producing millions of pennies in 1991 for circulation, and they had a large number of blanks on hand. Due to a slight oversight, some of these blanks were accidentally struck without the mint mark. Though it's not extremely rare to find a missing mint mark, it's considered a unique error in the world of numismatics. The mystery behind how these unmarked pennies ended up in circulation has intrigued collectors for years. It's one of those happy accidents in coin production that turned out to be quite a valuable find for those who know what to look for. So, what's the current market value of the 1991 no mint mark penny? Well, depending on its condition, this penny can be worth anywhere from $500 to over $1,000. And for those of you who have a pristine version of this coin, Graded in mint state, you could be looking at values as high as $10,000 or more. That's right, a penny that you might not even notice on the street could fetch a significant price. The value of this penny depends largely on its condition. Coins in near mint or mint condition can command much higher prices than those with wear and tear. Coins with original luster and minimal scratches or damage are the most sought after by collectors. The value of the 1991 no-mint mark penny lies in its rarity and the fascinating story behind its creation. When you think about it, the coin was struck during a time of significant changes in the U.S. mint's production processes. The fact that it lacks a mint mark, something most modern pennies have, makes it stand out. Furthermore, there are fewer of these coins in circulation today. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for unique error coins like this one. The 1991 no-mint mark penny has become a must-have for serious numismatists who are looking to complete their Lincoln penny collections. There is strong demand for this coin among both casual collectors and high-end investors. People love the idea of owning a piece of history with such a rare and peculiar mistake. Because the 1991 no-mint mark penny is relatively scarce, it's become a highly prized coin. As with all rare coins, the law of supply and demand plays a crucial role in its value. As more and more collectors look to expand their collections, the demand for coins, like the 1991 no-mint mark penny, continues to rise. This, of course, has an impact on the price, driving it upward. This makes the coin not only an interesting collectible but also a potential investment for those looking to build long-term value. So, how do you identify a 1991 no-mint mark penny? It's pretty simple. The first thing you'll notice is the absence of a mint mark under the date on the obverse side. It should be a smooth area where the mint mark would typically appear. Check for any signs of wear, as coins in better condition are more valuable. A coin grading system, such as the Sheldon scale, can help determine the exact grade of your penny. Coins with higher grades are the ones that fetch the highest prices in the market. If you're not sure whether you have one of these rare coins, it's worth taking it to a professional numismatist or submitting it to a grading service. Sometimes, even small imperfections or subtle characteristics can make a big difference in the value. If you've come across a 1991 no-mint mark penny and you're wondering how to sell it, there are a few different options. You can list it on online auction platforms like eBay, or you can approach a local coin dealer who specializes in rare pennies. But before you sell, it's crucial to have your coin properly appraised and graded. This ensures that you get the best price for it. Keep in mind that coin dealers may charge a commission, but selling through an auction platform can sometimes get you a higher price if there's strong demand for your coin. As with all rare coins, the value of the 1991 no-mint mark penny could fluctuate in the future. The coin market can be unpredictable, but given the current demand for rare error coins and the unique nature of this particular penny, it's likely that its value will continue to appreciate over time. If you have one of these pennies in your collection, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. So, the 1991 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a rare and valuable find, with current market values reaching into the thousands. If you happen to come across one, make sure to check its condition and consider getting it appraised. It might be a small investment with a big return. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and how to make a fortune from your collections, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. 1993 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, you heard that right. This penny, minted in 1993 with no mint mark, could be worth a lot more than you might think. Stick around to find out just how much this unassuming penny might fetch in today's market. Now, before we talk about its potential value, let's break down exactly what makes the 1993 no-mint mark penny so special. First, let's address the most important part, the mint mark, or in this case, the lack of it. The mint mark on U.S. coins tells us where they were produced. Normally, Pennies from the 1993 series would have a D mint mark, indicating they were made at the Denver Mint, or an S for coins produced in San Francisco. However, a small number of 1993 pennies were struck without a mint mark, which immediately makes them rare. Now you may be asking, why would a coin with no mint mark be so valuable? The answer lies in its rarity. Coin collectors know that a lack of mint mark on a penny is an anomaly that doesn't happen very often. These pennies didn't go through the typical process, which makes them a valuable find for those who know where to look. The key to the value of the 1993 no mint mark penny is its rarity. While exact numbers are difficult to determine, estimates suggest only a few thousand of these error coins exist in circulation today. To put it into perspective, most 1993 pennies are easily found in circulation, but this specific error coin is not. This makes it highly sought after by collectors. It's important to note that just because you find a 1993 penny with no mint mark doesn't mean it automatically holds significant value. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. Speaking of condition, it's important to remember that the value of coins is often graded based on their quality. A 1993 no mint mark penny that has been kept in pristine condition will be worth far more than one that's been tossed around in your spare change jar for years. Coins are graded using a system called the Sheldon scale, where the highest possible grade is MS-70, meaning the coin is in perfect condition with no flaws. A 1993 no mint mark penny in mint condition could fetch a higher price than one that's worn or scratched. Coins in circulated condition can still have value, but their worth will generally be lower. On the other hand, uncirculated and near-perfect specimens can attract bids in the thousands or even millions at auction.so. What's the current market value of a 1993 no mint mark penny? As of today, a well-preserved example of this coin can easily fetch between $5,000 and $10,000, depending on its condition. In fact, there have been reports of these pennies being sold for over $20,000 at auction, especially when the condition is exceptional and the coin has been verified as an authentic error. However, the most valuable 1993 no mint mark pennies could be worth much more. If you find a 1993 penny in mint or gem quality, the price could soar to six figures, potentially reaching as high as $1 million or more in the right market conditions. You might be wondering why such a small mistake, an absence of a mint mark, would elevate the coin's value to this level. The answer lies in demand and rarity. There's a finite supply of these error pennies, and the demand from collectors keeps driving up the price. Error coins, especially those that are as rare as this one, become coveted treasures in the world of numismatics. These pennies are highly desirable because they represent a mistake in the minting process, and collectors are always on the lookout for rare variations in coin production. Now, if you're thinking that you might have a 1993 no mint mark penny hiding in your collection, it's time to start checking your change. While they are rare, it's still possible to find one in circulation. Look for the key signs. A 1993 penny without a mint mark. If you do come across one, be sure to inspect it carefully for wear and tear. The cleaner the coin, the higher its potential value. If you don't have a 1993 no mint mark penny yet, it might be worth checking online marketplaces, coin shops, and auctions to see if you can purchase one for your collection. However, be cautious and always verify the authenticity of the coin before making a purchase, as counterfeit coins can be a risk in the high-stakes world of rare coin collecting.so. To sum up, the 1993 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a rare and valuable find. Depending on its condition, it could be worth anywhere from a few $1,000s to several million. While these coins aren't easy to come by, it's always exciting to think that the next penny you find could be worth a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, keep your eyes peeled for this elusive error coin. 1998 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this unassuming coin has become one of the most valuable pennies ever, with market values in the millions of dollars. In this video, we'll discuss the story behind this unique coin, what makes it so valuable, and where its market value currently stands. Stay tuned, as you may be surprised at how much a single penny could be worth. Let's first take a moment to understand the historical context. The 1998 penny might seem like a typical coin you'd find in your pocket. After all, the penny has been part of everyday life in the United States for over 200 years. However, this coin stands out because of a very specific feature, or rather, the lack of one. Unlike most coins that feature a mint mark indicating where they were produced, the 1998 no mint mark penny is a rare example where the mint mark is absent. Normally, pennies produced in Denver carry a mint mark, while those produced in Philadelphia don't have any mint mark at all. So, when collectors come across a 1998 penny with no mint mark, it raises eyebrows and sets off alarms for potential value. It's believed that the absence of the mint mark on the 1998 penny was due to a production error at the U.S. Mint. Some coins were accidentally struck without the mint mark, leading to a very limited supply of these rare pennies. Now, what makes this 1998 no mint mark penny so special and valuable? The rarity of this coin is the biggest factor. Typically, errors like these are limited to a small number of coins, which makes them incredibly sought after by collectors. In the case of the 1998 no mint mark penny, it's estimated that only a handful of these rare coins exist today. And when it comes to rare coins, supply and demand dictate the price. The value skyrockets when you consider the fact that these pennies were never meant to exist in the first place. They're essentially mistakes made by the U.S. Mint, which gives them that one-of-a-kind, priceless quality. So, how much is the 1998 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth? The answer may surprise you. The current market value of the 1998 no mint mark penny can range from hundreds of dollars for coins in good condition to several $1,000s for pennies that are in mint or near mint condition. However, in rare cases, these coins have been sold for upwards of $1 million, especially when they've been verified by a professional grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. The reason for this high valuation lies in the rarity of the coin, the significance of the error, and the demand within the numismatic community. Coins like these are highly sought after by collectors, investors, and enthusiasts who understand the potential long-term value they carry. As with any rare coin, the market for these pennies can fluctuate depending on factors like condition, rarity, and the overall state of the coin market. However, one thing's for sure, if you happen to stumble upon a 1998 no mint mark penny, you might just hold on to a small fortune. If you're wondering how to identify a 1998 no mint mark penny, it's quite simple. The key feature to look out for is the absence of the mint mark. You'll find that the penny will have the familiar design featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but without the mint mark that's usually found beneath the date. Be sure to check your pocket change, old coin jars, or even collections passed down from family members. You never know when you might discover this rare penny. When it comes to evaluating the value of your 1998 no mint mark penny, condition is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades signifying better condition. For example, a coin with minimal wear and a sharp strike will have a much higher market value than one with heavy scratches or discoloration. If you think you've found a 1998 no mint mark penny, it's a good idea to have it graded by a professional coin grading service. Grading can ensure that your coin is authenticated and properly evaluated, which is especially important if you plan to sell or auction it. If you're thinking about selling your 1998 no mint mark penny, there are several places where you can do so. Online auction platforms like eBay and specialized coin marketplaces are great starting points. However, It's always a good idea to get your coin appraised by a reputable numismatist or visit local coin shops to get an estimate of its worth. Make sure to do your research and know the market before you decide to sell, as prices can fluctuate based on current demand and condition of the coin. To wrap up, the 1998 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a rare and highly valuable coin that could be worth millions depending on its condition. Its value stems from its rarity, the error in its production, and the intense demand from collectors and investors alike. So, keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you might come across a coin that could potentially change your financial future. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves learning about rare coins, the 1998 no-mint mark penny is definitely one to watch in the world of numismatics. 2001 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This little penny might just have a big surprise hidden within its simple design. You're going to want to stay tuned to find out what makes this coin so special and what it could be worth on today's market. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. Let's jump right in. Now you may be wondering, why should I care about a 2001 penny? Isn't it just a regular coin? Well, that's where the story gets interesting. In 2001, most of the pennies you'll find will have a mint mark indicating where they were made, whether it's the Denver Mint with a D, the Philadelphia Mint with an P, or a few rare examples that are missing the mint mark altogether. But in 2001, something unusual happened. Many of the pennies struck that year in Philadelphia didn't have a mint mark, and while that might sound like a small detail, it's actually a very important one for collectors. You see, coins that don't have a mint mark are often the result of production errors, or they might be proof coins that were never intended for general circulation. These types of coins are extremely valuable because they are much rarer than regular pennies with a mint mark. But don't go thinking that every 2001 penny without a mint mark is $1 million coin. It's not quite that simple. Let's break down why these coins are so highly sought after. The first thing to understand about the 2001 no-mint mark penny is that it's not a widely circulated coin. The number of these pennies that actually made it out into circulation is quite low, making them harder to find. The U.S. Mint typically produces billions of pennies each year, but only a small fraction of these are struck in such a way that they lack a mint mark. In fact, the 2001 no-mint mark penny was released by the U.S. Mint in a way that made it rare almost from the get-go. With most of the coins from this year marked with a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver, the no-mint mark coins are a bit of a mystery. It's believed that they were part of a small batch produced without the mint mark and released by accident. That mistake has turned out to be a goldmine for collectors. You might be asking yourself, if it's rare, what's it actually worth? Well, the answer depends on the coin's condition, and here's where things get really interesting. A 2001 no-mint mark penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch a pretty penny, no pun intended. As of recent auction results, a 2001 no-mint mark penny in perfect condition has sold for over $1.5 million. That's right, over $1 million. And it's not just one sale. Other examples of this penny, in excellent condition, have also sold for similar prices. Now, these are the kinds of values that happen when the coin is in mint condition. Basically, the more flawless the coin, the more valuable it is. But what about those that aren't in perfect shape? Well, even a worn or circulated 2001 no-mint mark penny can still hold significant value. These coins have sold in the range of $10,000 to $50,000 depending on the amount of wear they have, how clearly the Lincoln Memorial shows, and other key factors that can impact their desirability to collectors. It's important to note that the penny's value fluctuates with the market. Like any other collectible, coin values are subject to change, especially as new discoveries are made and more people get into coin collecting. So, why is a tiny, everyday penny worth so much money? The answer comes down to scarcity and demand. Coins that are rare and unusual always attract the interest of collectors. Because the 2001 no-mint mark penny is so hard to find in good condition, it's considered a key date coin. Key date coins are often the most valuable ones in a series, because they are missing from most collections. This makes the 2001 no-mint mark penny an essential coin for many serious collectors. Moreover, the rarity of these coins often sparks bidding wars at auctions, pushing the price even higher. As more people get into coin collecting or learn about this particular penny, the price continues to rise. It's not just the rarity. It's also the fact that this penny has become a bit of a legend in the coin collecting community. How can I tell if I've got one of these valuable pennies in my own collection? Well, here's what you need to look for. First, check the year, of course. It needs to be 2001. Then, carefully inspect the obverse, the side with Abraham Lincoln's portrait. What you're looking for is a total absence of the mint mark. If the penny is from the Philadelphia Mint, it would typically have a P mint mark under the date. But if it's the rare no mint mark version, you'll find that it's completely missing. That's the key identifier. And keep in mind that this only applies to the 2001 year. Next, look at the condition of the coin. If it's shiny and appears uncirculated, that's a good sign. If it's worn, but you can still make out the important details, it's worth checking with a coin expert to determine its potential value. So, what's next for the 2001 no-mint mark penny? While the value of rare coins can be volatile, this penny's rarity and the continued demand from collectors suggest that its value will continue to rise in the future. As more collectors enter the market, and as fewer and fewer high-quality examples remain, this penny could easily become one of the top coins to hold onto for investment purposes. There you have it, folks. The 2001 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a rare and valuable coin that can be worth a small fortune if you're lucky enough to find one in great condition. With the potential for prices to continue climbing, this penny is definitely a must-have for serious collectors. If you have one of these pennies or are lucky enough to spot one, don't hesitate to get it evaluated by a professional. Who knows, you might just be sitting on a small fortune.